Hey everybody, it's Holy Bell and happy day 7 on Vita. So, what I'm going to talk about today, as you can see in the title, is something called IF, or in its full version, intermittent fasting. So, what is that basically? It's a way to help control how much you eat in an easier way. The best example I could compare it to is people who usually don't eat breakfast. I'm one of them. I inherently just dislike breakfast foods in general, but that's a different story for a different time. So if you already don't eat breakfast or not really a breakfast time person, don't really know when breakfast time is for most people, but maybe around the 7 a.m. mark to the 10:30-ish, 11 if you're talking about a late breakfast. Most people that I know at least don't usually eat that. At that time, they don't usually feel hungry. And you don't have to eat at that time if you don't feel hungry. So just don't. So the basics of intermittent fasting is you basically fast for a certain amount of time and you eat in a certain window. Currently, I try my best to do a 23-1 IF schedule, but I'm thinking about maybe changing it back to a 16-8. So what those numbers actually mean is, usually, the first number is how much time you're not eating. And you can still drink water, tea, and all that stuff, but the general rule of thumb is anything above 50 calories breaks your fast. So for 23 hours, I'm drinking water, tea, and eating any type of snack or whatnot that is under 50 calories. And it works pretty well. I don't feel hungry. It's obviously something you have to work yourself into, unless you've been already eating like that for years and you just never called it anything, then kudos to you. But most people have been staying on the 3 meals a day schedule, which doesn't really work for everyone. Some people need to eat 6 meals a day. Some people need to eat 1 meal a day. Some people need to eat two. 3 meals doesn't mean everyone needs 3 meals. It means 3 meals is an okay, standard. And people don't really know what 3 meals are. Is it 1 meal and 2 snacks? Is it 2 meals and 1 snack? It differs depending on the person. That's why that 3 square meals a day doesn't really apply to everyone, because everyone's different. It applies to the average person, which evidently doesn't exist because everyone's special in their own way. So yeah, 16-8 is you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8, which is pretty much the norm. I have scheduled people start out with, because most people do that in general. They sleep for 8 to 10 hours, 6 hours. They're like, I don't feel like eating breakfast, so I'll just wait to the afternoon or late afternoon, eat until it's bedtime, and then they just did 16-8 basically. But yeah, it's a really good way to curb your body if it's really used to eating all the time. It's a good way to train it so that it doesn't start growling in the middle of class. In my experience, at least, it's happened, but now it doesn't happen as long as I keep on a schedule. Your body, it really likes being on a schedule for the most part. There are things you cannot obviously control when it comes in regards to your body, but for the most part, it really helps. I've managed to get my stomach to stop growling in the middle of my 12 o'clock class and growl before that or right after that, because it knows, okay, I've always been eating like this, so in a few hours or so, or maybe in a few minutes, I'm gonna get something to eat. So now I can make all the noise I ever wanted to. So that's just a basic overview of IF, intermittent fasting, and I hope this has maybe enlightened someone's eyes about it, because I've been doing this for years and I didn't know it was called something. Obviously, there are other versions of IFing where they have something called, I think, the warrior diet, where you eat regular for yourself for 5 days, and 2 days you either eat 500 calories or you just don't eat at all. it works for some people because you can't survive without food for like, it depends on the person, obviously, and I'm not advocating for people to start starving themselves, but sometimes people just don't have the time to eat, or they really need to like jump, like kickstart their eating habits, like controlling it, because some people generally have an addiction to food, and sometimes they just got to do cold turkey with it because they've tried the incremental steps method and it just doesn't work for them. Not saying this is for everyone, because it definitely is not. It's definitely not for me. I love food too much. But IFing is something that someone should probably try if they don't really feel like they're a breakfast person, or it doesn't even have to be breakfast. They don't feel like they're a dinner person. I've known some people that IF and they don't eat dinner. They just eat breakfast and lunch, and then they're just, done for the day and wait till the next cycle. So hopefully this has helped someone either, thanks phone, help someone either find out what exactly they're doing and find out if it has a label on it, or, propose to them a new lifestyle that might fit their schedule, because a lot of people that do this do it because it fits their schedule. Some people work at night and they can only eat at night and they're sleeping all day, so this works for them if they have those wonky weird schedules. I'm a college student, so when I can eat changes at all the time depending on the semester, so this is a really easy way for me to adjust my eating habits around the schedule, so I always make time to eat, because one, that freshman 15, or at least college 15, is a real deal, and sometimes some people forget to eat, and that's not good, especially for your grades and especially for your health in general. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Hope this has enlightened someone. That's the third time I've said that segment or statement, but yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. Bye everyone.